Hello everybody, Gavin, Audio Boffins. So, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of hints and tips regarding installation of the Hertz UNO Series 2A components. So we've got a Mk4 Golf in the shop today, I should say. 6.5 inch 2A components in the back, 6.5 inch 2A components in the front, but you can upgrade to 8 inch in the front using our 6.5 to 8 inch adapter. But this video is going to be concentrating on OEM plus fitment. So a lot of you guys obviously just whack things in. I'd say a large proportion of you guys just whack things in cars without a lot of care. And of course, being a cultural sort of blame society that we are today, we're often saying that's because it's not very good. Well, let me let you into a little secret, my friends. You're the problem. The problem is that you don't install it properly. I'm not saying this to everyone. I'm just saying this based on what we see on a daily basis. So we're going to start doing videos about how to get the best from your equipment, how to install it correctly, basically make your lives better by making the best use of the products in the best ways so that you don't damage the vehicle, but also you get the best sound from it. So in front of me today, Golf Mk4 3-door quarter panel. As you can see up here, OEM tweeter, OEM 6.5. What this video is going to be doing is the tweeter itself, which if Matthew brings the camera into here, this is one I made earlier, like Blue Peter styling. So as you can see, my tweeter is mounted nice and secure. I've got no sealants, no adhesives, no glues, no nothing. It's literally just an OEM modified mounts, which, to be honest, I could probably put the original tweeter back in very easily, even with a small amount of modifications we've done. So I'm going to put this on the side for a second, and we'll do a live modification. So you can see exactly how we achieved it. So here is one I didn't make earlier. And first tool you're going to need is a Phillips screwdriver, a smallish head one, so that we can undo this little baby screw here. And that will then release this plate. For those of you that forget, the curved horseshoe shape, this side is top, this side is bottom, and we pop that down out the way for a second. Then get your tweeter and simply lift up. So lift up, pull out. That is fit for the bin or whatever you want. Now, here are the Hertz UNO T24 tweeter. It's neodymium, 25mm, 1 inch, whatever you want to call it, inline capacitor. It's obviously stop unwanted frequencies, 4 ohm driver. So what we also want is, out of our fitting kit, because you will get various cups and accessories. So in this particular tweeter set, we need this. Now, you can see on camera there's 3 little lugs. They're positioning lugs, and they enable you to get the tweeter in. If you don't line the lugs up, you will struggle to get the tweeter in. Hole, face, cable, and through. And then of course you've got to line your little lugs up here to your little lugs there, which you might be able to see on camera. It's quite hard to say, but basically you pop it together, something like that. And if you get it in the right position, boom. Now, if you don't find it that easy, you try to put it together wrong. So pay attention. Next thing we need to do is get this to fit in here. Now, the problem with this is that the factory tweeter has this little lip here, which actually slots into this slot. Now, we can't use that because we don't have that. And of course, it'd be inappropriate to really be grinding up tweeters and things. So what we do is take our trusty saw and simply go in there. Now, it's not a perfect measurement, but we would say roughly 3.5mm penetration on that cut. And then of course, just pick out your little bits of burnt plastic from the edges just to clean her up. There There we go. And that's just really to enable the tweeter to actually sit in. So then what we're going to do next is grab our tweeter as a test fit, because we don't want to be snapping these tabs off here. And we want her to sit in there. Now, it might take you 1 or 2 goes, because as you can see there, I've not cut it quite deep enough, or thick enough I should say, so I'll give it a second go. It did take me 2 for the first. It'll probably take me 2 or 3 goes for this one. And again, we just get rid of all of the crap from around the tweeter. And then give it another go. And hopefully she will sit. And as you see there, she pushes in and she locks down nicely. Now, for those OCD freaks, got to make sure it's straight. So that's that. Now, that in itself is pretty rock solid. But of course, if you've got a bit of bass in the car, vibrations and whatnot, it will fall out. Which is where our little cup and spring goes. Now, with this, you'd like to think, oh, I'll just pop her back on. But in reality, if you see here, one side fits perfect, one side doesn't. Now, the way around that is you want a file, bit of sandpaper, pair of flush cuts. Flush cuts from Snap-on. These bad boys here, not the cheapest in the world, but you know what? These things make my life a dream. And I'll go through probably too many pairs in a year because they get used a lot. But what we're going to do is we're basically going to come very close to the edge here, and we're just going to snip off literally like a millimeter, okay? And then we're going to put her back on, and just like that, bosh, she's ready to go. We'll tuck our wires back out of the way, and we'll put that in there, finger tight, so that we don't cross thread, and then of course we just tighten her back up. Give her a little squeeze. Now, you've got one tweeter, rock solid, OEM mounted, perfect in looks, shape, size. Wouldn't know any difference from this side, but of course you've got a fantastic sound. And of course, fantastic fitment. Now, that is probably quicker than what a lot of you people have been doing, bodging tweeters in place. Half the time the problem I think is you're using the wrong product. So next time you want to upgrade your Mk4 Golf, don't be tempted to go for some big ass tweeter in the back that's going to cause you a nightmare to mount unless you've got lots of time and effort and experience in mounting them. This will sound far better than probably the shite that is going to be bodged by a lot of people, and of course most importantly it looks original. Providing you've got the right size tweeter there, really don't want to be going much bigger than the T24s from the UNO to get this sort of fitment. There are other techniques for other tweeters, and maybe at some point, if a customer asks, we'll do them as well. But for now, what we're going to move on to is sorting out the deadening the customer's applied, because he ain't done a bad job, but it ain't the best job either. So we'll tackle that, because there's a few bits here that need rollering down properly and whatnot, and obviously this panel will be ready to go back on with the other bits we're doing today. But thanks for watching, stay safe, speak to you soon. Later guys.